sisters. Good day to you, partner. I'm Guy, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp.
You've been working on music ever since I've known you.
Shit. Hey, yo, that's how he was rhyming, man. I don't give a fuck. Some shit been taken. And you were like, you're dead to me. We were leaving. I'm like, no, it's like, I'm dead now. I got it for you. That's the beginning? Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. Weed Solo here, aka the Skeleton King. So, our last big projects for Season 4 is another 3-man Necro, and Poison Proc Nova Necro. It's based around EBOTD, but the first step is, of course, getting Emilio. For any of those who don't know, Emilio has 10% higher base stats than any other Act 2 mercenary. That's just facts. That was actually programmed into the original Diablo 2. Now we're going to go quickly into putting up my gear so I can use it all. Basically, how this build works is it's built around EBOTD and its auto proc of Poison Nova. There's a couple of choices you have for the armor. Bramble, Venomward, or of course, the drop from Rathma, the 6-Ock armor. You're probably not going to find that. Assumingly, you're going to use either Venomward or Bramble. Now, Venomward will actually do more damage, but it's kind of awkward because it has worse stats, like FHR and life after each kill. Also, Pierce, although Pierce is better than percent damage for poison, it's overall more frustrating. Now, why it's better is because Pierce increases damage and duration. So it's literally just better. The reason why I say it's more annoying is because since it takes longer for enemies to kill, if you're relying on Pierce over straight up damage, it can actually kind of mess you up even playing a regular Poison Nova build, because everything takes longer to die, and like let's say you want to pick up runes, like even Thals. You want to pick up Thal to Hell so you can roll your maps. Well, since enemies take longer to die, you're probably already 2 screens away and you won't even notice. The other options kind of came up on the screen. Basically, of course, you're going to use Train Gloves to either go with FCR or FBR. You're going to go with Water Walks, or you could use a Tri-Res Book, or even a Silkweave. Now, a Silkweave is kind of its own thing, because you really want FBR. The reason why I showed many options for FBR, mainly Train Shield or SS, by the way, SS would only work if you have the 6-Ock armor, okay? Don't run that unless you have the 6-Ock armor. You just won't have enough damage. FBR is so important because this build, since it kills so unreliably, you can't just rely off life after each kill. And not running max block, I just kept dying. Running max block actually makes this build kind of work for me. Like, it actually felt fun to play, and like I could do it. So you see this setup, I'm actually using the Verdungos. By the way, you don't need a 230. Maras do work. I do think in general 220s are your best bet, or 230s or 320s, something like that. Now you might be going, Keith, why do you even care about all skills? You're using a level 20 Poison Nova that's proccing off of EBOTD. Well, fucking shittily enough, you still need all skills because you want to hit a 0-second Blood Warp. Technically, a 0.2 second Blood Warp, or even a 0.4 second Blood Warp, which is skill levels 28 and 29 after your CTA buff, of course. Those do work for this build. They don't work for just porting around. By the way, you can see how terrible of a spell Desecrate is. It's like, if you ever see a video saying run Desecrate, you're going to smash maps, just turn off the video immediately and stop watching, because Desecrate is the most annoying skill to use in the world. But anyways, you really need plus skills. Now, you don't need FCR rings. 20 FCR rings work. By the way, 48 FCR still feels very nice for this build. I'm generally going to run 75 FCR and try to hit 86 FBR. Those are my two targets. Now, FHR on this is pretty low, but if you can have some FHR2, trust me, you really want that. In fact, I think going higher FHR, FBR is overall better than FBR. One of our problems we're running into is we don't quite have the best FBR setups in the world. Like, funny enough, we got a Homo at the end of the season. I forget who gave it to me. I'm so sorry. If you're out there and you're watching, I will shout you out. Just remind me. Homo's a great option for an FBR Poison Nova Necro. Again, I do not recommend Max Block Poison Necro, but if you are going to run Max Block Poison Necro, Homo is just straight up better than Trang Shield. But since we weren't really playing Max Block anymore, because honestly, Bone Flame is kind of just better once you hit the high-end gear, okay, guys? Please just run 3-piece Strangs until you get very, very, very good gear. Like 50% Brambles, 220, 2-Lock, D-Webs, like very solid stuff, okay? Until you hit that end game, once you hit that end game, you don't really go Max Block. And even if you're running 3-piece, Max Block is kind of annoying because Trang Shield really isn't the best for Max Block. Although you can make it work, which I actually kind of switched to at one point, which is why I have those 12 Poison, 16 FBR gloves, is they are a legitimate option to go Max Block with 3-piece trains. And in fact, I think if you are budget, but you are, able to run ROB with no life mods, I do think that Max Block is a solid choice. But again, as your gear gets better, even with 3-piece, drop the Max Block, go full Vita, rely on your SCR, 75 plus, and then it feels more fluid. I think you might die a little bit more often, but you'll overall save more time. So the build is kind of awkward, and what I realized is that you really need mana after each kill. So I'm running an Insight Iron Golem, but I strongly suggest you just make an Insight instead of a Plague for Cleansing Iron Golem. Now, Cleansing is awesome because you don't have to worry about poison or curses as much, but for me, I just didn't have enough mana after each kill. Honestly, if I had 2 skill rings with mana after each kill rolls on them, or even a Verdun goes with it, can you get it on a belt? Anyways, mana after each kill would be my best cores right now, and drop a breakpoint of SCR. It is what it is. I think I can make a couple more maps work. Anyway, guys, stay tuned to the end of the season. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy beta. Well, maybe you won't. I'll enjoy it. Topwood will enjoy it. And hopefully some of you guys do too. Skelly King out. GG.
He was loaded, it was loaded. Loaded as can be. He was knocked out or knocked out. Knocked out loaded. He was a singing, that's a song of me. He said now 6 months or 6 months. Ain't no sentence, no. I know 1 year, 1 year. Ain't no time, no time. Boys, I know boys in Angola. They're doing a 1 year, 1 year, 1 year to 99. If I had $1 million, I wanna tell you, let me tell you what I would do. I would buy land around Angola and grow a nice wheat farm till 1992. I want a whiskey when I'm thirsty. Oh, want a little water when I'm dry. I want my lover when I'm lonely right now. And a little hair on, just before I die. And a little cocaine, baby, on the side. I want a cocaine, baby, on the side. cocaine on the side right now. I want a little bit of heroin just before I die. Down the road, from a jungle, partner. Knock down, load it out, load it. Down the road, come on, Jungle partner right now.
Come and play with us. Come and play with us, Danny. Forever.